And, well, without further ado, let's bring her on. Carla, Ambassador Sands, welcome to the Bob Cordaro Show. We appreciate you coming on with us.
Hey, Bob, I'm so happy to talk to you and your listeners. Thanks for welcoming me.
Well, you can't beat that resume, Doctor. I don't know. Should I call you Doctor or shall I call you Ambassador? What great titles you've earned.
So eventually I want you to call me Senator. For now,
Fair enough.
I am Ambassador because that's a lifetime title. Once the president appoints you as his personal representative, you are an ambassador for life.
That's right.
But it was the honor of my lifetime to serve President Trump. And your listeners should know I am a pro-life, pro-First Amendment, pro-Second Amendment, constitutional conservative, also America first, businesswoman and Christian and mom. And I'm the only person in this race who served President Trump as his ambassador or in his administration. I'm the only one who helped work to get him elected in 2016. And I'm an eighth generation Pennsylvanian. And my Pennsylvania ancestors actually fought in the American Revolution and in the Civil War.
Wow.
And I will just share with your listeners, this is our time to fight for the heart and soul of our country.
Well, I got to tell you, I am honored that you have chosen to expend the effort to run for this office. And I think all Pennsylvanians are blessed. They truly are. Tell me, Ambassador Sands, give us your outline of your platform and how it integrates with who you are and why you'd be the best for Pennsylvania as senator.
Well, first of all, we know that there's chaos throughout our country and the world because of President Trump and President Biden and what he's doing. We know that on day one, he did things like kill that Keystone XL pipeline. And then soon after, he green-lighted that Russian gas pipeline, which was one of the pieces of the puzzle Putin needed to green-light him to invade Ukraine. My team and I actually blocked that Russian gas pipeline. The only place it wasn't built was in Danish waters. And then I had the threat of sanctions. Working with the White House, I was able to stop that pipeline from being completed. But our team is on our way to a March for Life rally tomorrow in Philadelphia. And we know that we have to protect life. We can see this radical nominee to the Supreme Court. And what she says, she won't even define a woman or when life. It is the most ignorant, the height of ignorance to say, I can't define a woman. Let's just get back to reality. But, we're heading up to Holmesdale on Saturday night. We're excited about that. But the other issues that I really most care about, and these are the issues Pennsylvanians care about, it's securing our border and stopping the record number of illegals and fentanyl flooding over our border. It's the number one killer of our young people. And then also making sure the inflation stops. I'll work at the federal level to stop the outrageous spending and end those handouts because it's hurting our working families and our seniors on a fixed income. And then the sort of flames on the fire that they added was to go to war against our domestic energy and our Pennsylvania energy. And I don't know if your listeners have heard about this or not, but I want to be Pennsylvania's energy senator. I've been talking about it since I announced, and recently on the main stage of CPAC, I called for Operation Warp Speed for American energy independence and dominance, so that I pledge to work with whoever is elected governor to harmonize those regulations and the permitting so that we can put things in very quickly. We can drill, harvest, and then move it. We're going to have to put a lot of pipelines in, not only to get it to New England, because they're not going to be able to buy Russian gas anymore, which is how they heat their homes today, but also Biden just pledged to the EU that we were going to supply them with LNG. Well, we're going to need that pipe from Western PA and Northeastern PA out to the harbor in Philadelphia so we can we can ship it to our allies and partners so they don't have to buy Russian, Iranian, Venezuelan oil and gas, right?
We're talking with Ambassador Carla Sands, Republican candidate for United States Senate here in Pennsylvania. I like your energy plank a lot. It's actually critical to the nation from an economic and national security standpoint. So I'm happy that you've made that a priority.
Absolutely. Another thing parents are really upset about is the CRT, the critical race theory.
I call it criminal race theory because it's a criminal assault on history.
100%. And that Supreme Court justice also has really promoted critical race theory. She's friendly with the people that invented it and lauded the people that wrote that 1619 project, which isn't even historical. It's written by a reporter. It's not factual at all. It's just terrible what people in control in this country are doing. The radical left is trying to fundamentally and quickly change our country from a peaceful country with the rule of law where we celebrate our constitutional rights to a kind of Venezuelan style place where they censor speech and you don't have rights, and the government tells you can no longer drive a gas-powered car because they're going to price you out of it. Every time your listeners go to the gas station and fill up their tank and they see that high cost, and it makes it hard to buy stuff for their kids or the food that they would normally buy because of the Biden inflation, I want them to just think of me. If they'll vote for me as their senator, I'm going to bring that cost down.
Tell us, we're talking with Ambassador Carla Sands, Republican candidate for U.S. Senate here in Pennsylvania. Tell us a little bit about the horse race. Where does the race stand in terms of how your campaign views it right now?
Well, so it's a great question. I want to give your listeners just a little bit of information. Northumberland County has endorsed our campaign. We've been endorsed by local elected officials throughout the Commonwealth, and I have a website, carlasands.com. If you want someone who's ready on day one, who worked for President Trump and understands the issues, I worked to sell American natural gas. I worked to defend our country against Russia and China. The DOD gave me their highest civilian honor for my work. It was successful. I know what I'm doing on day one because these are serious times. And we have a website, carlasands.com. They can go to the website and sign up to volunteer for door knocks or phone banking, get out the vote. We would be honored to have them join our grassroots army because this is a grassroots army. This is the faith community. These are people that are working as farmers in energy because our Pennsylvania farmers are also being attacked by the Green New Deal radicals in the Biden administration.
Yeah.
But the horse race as it is I am tied in a virtual tie for first place with one of my opponents. My two main opponents, because there are three of us in double digits in the polls, two guys and me, these two people are what I'll call weaker Republicans because we know over the years we've worked to elect Republicans to office, but we're losing our country to the left because so many Republicans go to Washington and they go along to get along, Bob. They're not like fighting for us. They're letting the left take our country. And so what I believe is we need America First Republicans who will never back down. And I have that track record. Working as the ambassadors from 2017 until 2021, every day I put America first. And so I have a public record. I always represented the interests of the American people, whether it was trade and getting freer and fairer trade deals, or whether it was securing our country against Russia and China. I worked at it every day, and we did really well. And one day maybe I can share more about those stories. But the fact is, we have to send strong Republicans to Washington who are not going to be cowed by the left, who are not going to go along to get along, because that's how we got in this trouble right now.
Carla Sands, Republican candidate for U.S. Senate here in Pennsylvania. We thank you, and you are welcome back anytime you have something to say. I want you to know that. You're welcome back
Bob.
on the Bob Cordaro Show. Literally anytime. If you start to call every day, I'll be suspicious about how your campaign's going. But you are welcome literally anytime you'd like to. You tell your gang you're on when you want to be on. Okay?
Thank you. And thanks to your listeners. And I just want to say thank you for letting me share my story.
I'm more than happy to. You're a great candidate, and we're honored. We're truly honored, and we're blessed that you're running. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
That's Ambassador Carla Sands, Republican candidate for United States Senate here in Pennsylvania. One of our great ones and one of the leading candidates. If you look at the polls, it's going to be an interesting race. There's a couple months to go, so a lot to do for all of the candidates. And we've interviewed them all, and I got to tell you, I love them all. I love them all. We've got a surfeit. We've got a surplus. We've got whatever you want to call it of talent that want to lead this state and take back this country. Bob Cordaro with you, WILK. It's La Familia Friday, and I am your conservative Button. We'll be right back.